Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. So this is just a video that I thought I'd make today. If I was starting again, what would I do? What would I change in the way I've run the game to get up to the level I'm at now, which is 63? So I used to play with heavies and Zookas all the time. I mean, they were the best setup for me. And then as soon as I realised how strong the Scorchers were when they were attacking my base, I mean, they were a late addition to the game, so I couldn't have run them from the beginning. But when you saw how much damage they created, I thought, right, well, let's upgrade all our boats. It was massively difficult to upgrade to the storage capacity that I needed. You need 21 to get a Scorcher on a landing craft, so that's level 17. So all these are level 17. And then I went to level 20 for the tanks, so I could get 3 on each landing craft. So you need a capacity of 24 for 3 tanks. So the reason I chose this design is when I've set it up like this, the tanks are the last to drop, so the Scorchers are actually providing protection on the tanks, and then Everspark sits between them, basically dropping critters every so often to take damage away from my main troops. So it's very rare I lose a Scorcher, and even if I do, I get 12 extra gunboat energy then. So that's the downside, is you need quite a lot of gunboat energy to run Scorchers and tanks, because they all cost gunboat energy to drop, so you end up with nothing left, and you've got to make them do all the work. So this is the setup I decide, because when you drop them, it drops all the Scorchers first and then the tanks at the end. So the max level of both is, let's just go and have a look. So everything's maxed out in mine, so it's a good job they started with the heroes, because I was just completely full to capacity in gold every time, because you get it comes to you all the time. Every time you attack, you get 150,000, 200,000, up to 500,000 gold, and before you know it, you're completely maxed out. So the tanks are level 17. That's the max level on a tank. And then a Scorcher is level 9. That's the max level on that. There's quite a lot of health, and these are the boosted health is unboosted, so that's just the normal health I get from the troop damage and the troop health masterpiece. So that's what I would do. The first chance I get to get my landing craft up to a level where I could get Scorchers and tanks in them. So that means obviously you have to upgrade your HQ. I mean, upgrade it as fast as you can, but you'll get to the point where it'll be so expensive, especially if you're doing it free like I've done, and I haven't spent any money on it from the start. That's why it's took me so long, because it is possible, because I've done it obviously, but it's not easy. They don't make it easy at all. So especially for the HQ, and that's why they bought Mega Crab in, I think, because people were really struggling towards the top end, 19, 20, 21, 22. They just weren't getting it done. I mean, and to max out the boom cannons is very expensive, and the cannons as well. Everything's just very expensive. So I would max out my boom cannons as soon as I can. Get them up there, because with tanks and Scorchers now as well, you need everything to do the maximum amount of damage. I would also move towards getting your weapons lab up to level 5 as soon as you can. I think up to level 4 you only get 2 prototype weapons, and they mess about to force you to have to put it up to level 5 to get your 3rd prototype weapon. So these are the 3 prototype weapons I decide to use, because these rockets are all max level, so with the boost as well, it really makes a big dent in attackers. It'll take tanks out, just these. It's effectively having 6 rocket launchers firing at all the time, so it'll knock down, even with medics, it'll knock tanks down to virtually, they don't get off the beach basically, because they can all cover the beach. As soon as they get into the kill zone, which is around here, there's not many tanks that will survive that, and most of them have to smoke them back off the base, most attackers. So I just make the base as difficult as possible to attack, and this is what this is 3 years, probably 3 years of every time I get attacked, if I see a weakness on my base, I'll change it I mean, there's nothing you can do about warrior rushes. You can try your best to stop them, but if they attack you once and die and come back a second or third or fourth time, they're always going to beat you. There's nothing that you can do. So I wouldn't sit with a massive amount of resources stored on your base, because you can upgrade the your vault to maximum, and it doesn't protect all of it. I mean, that gold's not protected all the way up, neither's that. So there's always enough. And whenever they find your base, whatever the amount offered is, it stays that amount. It never changes. So you could use all your resources, but when you're up at that high fill level, if they looked at your base, it stays at that amount. And if there's not that amount left on your base when they win, they still get that amount. It's given to them by Boom Beach. So if you've got 800,000 in wood, 600,000 in stone, and 500,000 in iron, you know, they're going to come and take your base, maximum boost, and they'll take your base. There's nothing you can do about it. So don't sit with loads of resources. Just maybe only do one upgrade a week if you want to, but spend it wisely and do it on the stuff that needs it. I mean, I wouldn't bother with the gold. There's going to be enough gold, so don't bother boosting your gold storage. I'd definitely go and get your gold storage, your iron storage boosted, and your stone. All that needs boosting up, because you'll need that to get your HQs your HQ leveled up, and your gunboat as well. The last level 22 gunboat is massively expensive, probably the most expensive thing on the whole game. You know, that and the weapons lab is hideously expensive. I think to do both those upgrades I had to use Mega Crab the first 25 levels or something, plus a stupid amount of storage as well. I had to max out virtually every one, so that's a max of 6.4 million on wood. These are the resources completely full. The stone is 6.4 million maximum, and the iron is 6.4 million maximum as well. So yeah, you have to level up the armory as well, obviously. What I'm a bit cheeky as well is I hide one of the... I've noticed on other people's maps that if you hide one of the prototype weapons in your statues, they don't notice it, and by the time they're committed to your base, you've won some gems and intel, because they haven't noticed. They don't hear your doom cannon firing, and every time the doom cannon fires is a dead tank or a dead medic or a dead heavy. So I hide it in there, and 9 times out of 10 they don't notice it, because I didn't notice it myself, the amount of times I've fallen for that trap. So let's go ahead and show you what statues I'm using, and I've sat at these statues for the last 15 levels, I would say. So that's quite a while. That's probably a year and a half. So let's show you what they are. Resources reward 36%. So I generally boost that with a power powder. Where I'm at now, I don't really need to boost any other statues than that one and the gunboat energy. I need the gunboat energy. If I boost that when I'm doing blackguard bases, that means I've got 2 barrages for free, and then I can still land all my troops as well, but I've got no more gunboat energy, so I need to boost that to use the 2 maxed out barrages. So let's go ahead and show you them. So 36% resources reward, and then we've got a troop health of 33%. These are all very close to maxed out. A troop damage of 32%. And this one I've had since probably the first 6 months was the gunboat energy at 42%. They gave me that one straight away. So that really helped. And then we've got another couple. Gunboat energy, 17 and a 17. And then we've got a defensive building damage of 37%. And a building health of 32%. So what I've done is try to make it look quite a weak base by not maxing out a lot of my weapons. So that one's maxed out. When it's got an eye below it, it won't go any higher. So the cannons go up to 22. And I think I've got 3 of them maxed out. So that one's a 22 as well, and they're hideously expensive. But if you put them up to 21, you might as well put them up to 22, because it doesn't change very much. It's difficult for people to know. I've now got one max level machine gun, which the damage on that is since they buffed it slightly, it's quite, you know, it concentrates on less attackers and damages them and kills them quicker. So that's, now I've boosted it as well. It's almost 330 damage per second, which is, you know, against a wave of troops, it does make a big difference. And then we go up to the sniper towers are maxed out at level 22. What I do as well is I get a load and a lot of warrior rushes, so I try and avoid the warrior rushes by putting all the mines, just hide them behind buildings if I can, and these are perfect to hide behind buildings. And this one is another good one, that if you want to take any of this and apply it to your own base, you're more than welcome, because there's nothing more annoying than logging in and finding that you've been raided 5 times overnight and you've got no resources left ready. You were ready to do an upgrade and you can't now. So I tempt them on with a warrior rush, and virtually always they die on the way in. You know, but obviously any attacker can see all the faults of a base then, and then they can come back a second and third and fourth time and beat you anyway. So, you know, the max level of the rockets is 14s, and all 3 of them are maxed out. Another good way of slowing people down on your base is the shock launchers. Get them maxed out as soon as you can. I didn't with mine. And with tanks, they're so slow anyway. With a shock launcher, if they don't take them out, which they can't with mine, because they've got 3 prototype weapons to take out to start with. So they can't take these. They used to be able to take the shock launchers out because they knew for tanks and medics it took forever, and they run out of time. A lot of the times with tank attacks, they've gone all the way around my base to the HQ, and by the time they've got there, they've run out of time. So yeah, definitely go and upgrade your rockets and your shock launchers as well. So there's all my sniper towers, and I've done the same there by hiding mines behind them. I forgot to mention that I do actually have two statues in the trees as well. So max out your there we go, both 15%. Defensive building damage, that gives me an extra 30%, so I don't have to boost really, it just there's a lot of damage there. So yeah, so we're getting there anyway. So 3 prototype weapons I run, so I hide that one in the trees. I hide these in the trees, sorry. Just trying to find it, it's difficult to find. There we go. So there's 2 of them. So yeah, I would also max out your statues as well. So that there's the way you max them out is your, let me just remember now. Yeah, that's it. So you need to max out your sculptor. So level 8 is maxed out, and that gives you 10 statues. So you won't always get what you want, and a lot of people higher up towards my level start putting all their they change all their statues to the blue defensive ones, because that's the only way you can stop attackers taking your base. But you know, I don't generally have a lot to steal when I'm available. When I go offline, so when I'm not available, so you know, there's not a lot to steal, and I'm happy with them to take that, because I don't really collect a lot, and just do it in one go and find something to upgrade, and then empty the storage again, because it just leaves too much to be stolen. And as soon as you put some in there, when you go offline, you come back and you've been raided. So there's nothing you can really do about that. So one thing I will mention as well is I've started a task force. So if you guys want to join me in this task force and have a bit of a laugh, so let me just go ahead and show you the links to it. So it's named after my YouTube channel. So there's only 5 spaces at the moment, but if you're a high level or mid level player, you know, I've put the entry requirements at 300, and you want to come and have a go and do some OPs. I mean, I think I get about 40 30 to 40 intel a week. So it'll be a while before we able to do our first one, and as we get members, I'll increase the amount of people that can come and be part of the group. So I just decided that I was sick of being with other groups. You know, the way they run their task force didn't really interest me. So we'll see. If you want to come and join me, you're more than welcome. There's the information, the task force tag, and so there's only 5 spaces at the moment, and that's it basically. So if you want to come and join my task force, you're more than welcome. That's it, guys. So if there's anything that you want answered, just let me know in the comments below and see if I can help. So I have got a max level hero at the moment. Everspark is level 13, so she fits in quite well. I'm in the process of upgrading to level 5. The process being I need to collect 64 hero tokens, which is a crazy amount. So that could take another 5 weeks, I think I worked it out as. So there will maybe another video in the future. Well, there will be another video this week of the trader coming back. I think it's for the 6th week, and hopefully they'll be able to buy some trader tickets. I think there's 15 normally for 500 gems. I do actually have 500 gems, so let's have a look at Sergeant Brick is level 18 at the moment. She's upgrading to level 19, and she's got 22 hours left on that. So that's it. Hopefully I'll be able to upload a short video of the trader, the 6th visit. So if you want to come and watch that, you're more than welcome. So, and if you want to come and join the task force, you're more than welcome. Obviously it's first come, first served. I prefer higher level players, but if you're lower level and you actually do play, because I don't want people just sitting there taking the OP reward and not actually playing. You know, that's one of the reasons why I kept leaving other OPs, other task forces, because they weren't keeping on top of people not playing. You know, the idea is you come and contribute. You don't come and take the reward but don't do anything for it, you know. So that's it, guys. So thanks for watching this video, and check back soon. Cheers.